claims that a local government has neglected the people of Alexandra Township north of Johannesburg. He voiced his arguments during an inquiry prompted by the pre-election service delivery protests in the township. The Human Rights Commission and the Public Protector's Office in Gauteng are heading the inquiry. They'll probe alleged service delivery failures and their impact on fundamental human rights. The investigation will also look into whether there was maladministration, abuse of power, corruption or improper conduct during the Alex Renewal Project. Joburg City Manager has disputed reports that piles of rubbish remain uncollected in some parts of the township.
I wouldn't say it's a neglected area. I think what the Commission should not forget is that when the municipal does work, it's very important that it has got access to the land. So in other areas, the municipality will either own the land or people will be willing to forfeit the land to the municipality. Alexandra might be a different situation with the landowners who own the land and have not yet been paid. So just to repeat how the municipality does its project, we would have a number of projects and then we will evaluate our progress in December, which is our half year. And those projects that are deemed not to be moving because the land issues are not resolved, then the money gets shifted to the projects that are moving. And that is standard practice in every municipality.
Well, our reporter Maageketla Mohlabe has been tracking this story for us, and he joins us now in Braamfontein. Maageketla, thanks very much for joining us. Take us through what's gone through this inquiry today.
Well, good afternoon to you and our viewers at home. Peter, well, I can tell you that it's been quite a long session, and I can tell you it's still underway behind these closed doors here. And of course, the city manager facing tough questions in terms of service delivery issues inside Alexandra. And of course, one of the questions that was posed to him is, why is it that when the neighboring Santon experiences these particular issues of service delivery, they actually respond quickly. But when it comes to Alexandra, the service delivery response is quite slow. And of course, what he said is that in as far as he is concerned, he hasn't experienced any complaints in terms of how these two areas are being treated when it comes to the service delivery issues. On the other side, saying that when it also comes to the potholes that we actually saw in Alexandra compared to Santon, saying that these are the issues that, according to the city of Johannesburg, they have been attended to on a daily basis. Again, pile up of rubbish in the streets of Alexandra that remains uncollected for days. Well, he actually sighs to the protest that we saw early last month, saying that that particular protest actually halted the service delivery issues around Alexandra. On the other side, saying that even in the cemeteries around Alexandra, where we saw some graves sinking inside raw sewage, he basically says that the services have actually been delivered in those areas. And of course, also defending the officials, saying that the city of Johannesburg does care about the people of Alexandra. But of course, the commission on the other side doesn't seem to actually take those answers to heart, in the sense that they saying that they did visit the area and saw some of the raw sewage flowing into the streets, despite him actually defending the officials. On the other side, we know that there have been issues. There have been issues around housing, and of course, which brings back the topic of Alex Renewal Project, and of course, public protector, senior investigators posing tough questions to the city officials, saying that, of course, asking the question, what happened? What happened to the money? What happened in that particular project, which was supposed to actually benefit thousands of residents of Alexandra? Of course, the report that came out of this particular inquiry is that there's still a probe into that, and of course they will make available information as soon as it's available to them. As far as they are concerned, recall that an interministerial task team was appointed by the president, as well as an intergovernmental task team to look into these issues. And of course we know that an audit also is underway to look into how the money was spent with regard to that Alex Renewal project. So as it stands, the grilling is still continuing behind these closed doors. You can expect a lot of answers, perhaps in terms of the service delivery issues that affect a lot of thousands of people in Alexandra. And of course, we would recall during the protest, we had issues of the mushrooming of shacks in the township. The city of Johannesburg saying that they are doing their best to stop this, but on the other side, they can not always be on the ground. They do not have enough resources to address these issues. Yesterday, of course, during the inquiry in Alexandra, we heard from community leaders, including the Total Shutdown conveners, saying that as soon as they report these issues of invasion, the JNPD officials do not come on time to actually stop these particular incidents. But when these issues are reported in the neighboring areas like Midrand or Waterfall, then JNPD officials will rush there within minutes to actually stop the invaders from invading the land. But these are some of the points that are really coming out of this particular inquiry here. But you'd recall this is a joint inquiry. The first time it happens that two Chapter 9 institutions between the Human Rights Commission as well as the Public Protector's Office are actually jointly, joining hands rather in terms of probing the service delivery issues, more especially when it comes to the Alexandra Township.
Maageketla, so the current Joburg City officials are the ones on the stand and facing this grilling. And they can answer to some of the current issues, but some of this, particularly the Alex Renewal project, goes back quite far in time. Might we expect city officials that were working under the auspices of the ANC in the city at that time to appear before this inquiry? Right. Maageketla, can you hear me? All right, okay. It looks like he can't hear us. Okay, we're going to leave it there for the time being. That's our reporter, Maageketla Mohlabe, who's at the Alexandra inquiry, which is taking place in Braamfontein at the moment. Now, the Chief Investment Officer